back to another scale model review. This time we'll be doing the Kawasaki Ninja H2R. Highly anticipated kit from Tamiya. I've noticed a couple builds on the go on good old YouTube land, and figured I'd come at you with my review. If you follow me, that's great. If you don't, your first time joining us, thank you, appreciate that. So let's have a look at what's in the box. As with all Tamiya box art, a really good box art on the front. A quick shot of the sides. Photos of the actual bike itself. I think it's going to be a really fun build. There's a lot of carbon fiber on this bike. Probably going to have to order some carbon fiber decals for it. And as you can see, the awesome green frame in this. But for my build, I'm not sure what I'm going to do as of yet. There isn't any aftermarket that I found out yet through Hero Boy and such, so we'll just have to play it by ear. Maybe I'll build this straight out of the box as is, or I'm gonna wait for some photo etch. I haven't decided as of yet, so let's have a look. Open up the first bag here. Try to avoid the staples on the way out. And on the first sprue. The first sprue is mostly the cowls. We've got the one-piece fuel tank on this, which is really nice because a lot of the Tamiya kits are a two-piece fuel tank, so save some time sanding on that. Rest of the cowlings look pretty sharp. Don't see any flash. That looks good there. We'll have a look around. So we've got the stand and the wheels, the fairings. We've got a two-piece fender, but that's no big deal. Almost like as I was saying before with the fuel tank itself. Normally Tamiya would do a two-piece fuel tank, and this is a one-piece, so that's really nice. The only two-piece issue we have right here is the front fender, but I am sure that will fit together just excellent, as most Tamiya kits do. Looking around the whole sprue, I don't see any flash. The backside looks really crisp and clean. Got a couple ejector pin marks just here, but they will buff out nicely. Got a couple ejector pin marks here. Once again, those will be hidden, so you won't see those, so no issue there. Let's move on to the next sprue. In this bag, we've got a lot of goodies. So we've got the engine halves, very nicely detailed. We'll just walk around the sprue so that it gives you guys a good look at everything. Brake rotors are going to be fun. So if I do build this kit right away, all of those little holes that you see that are kind of pre-made already, I'm actually going to drill those right out to make it look more like an actual caliper. And you have your brake discs, clutch half, and we've got the suspension, got the front forks, nicely detailed. triple trees, engine halves, come down, and then we get into the frame. We've got foot pegs, top of the engine. And what I get a kick out of this kit, look at that turbocharger. Turbocharger, yeah, that's right. The Spike is turbocharged. It's going to be a great build. Once again, going around, not seeing any flash. The Brembo, as we pull it on the calipers, should be nicely easy to put the letters in by brush. Looking around the frame, very nicely done, no flash. Oh, a little bit that you can feel with your fingers visually to the eye. Not all that bad. So as you can see on the back side, now I can pick up that flash just here. But you're gonna get that on any tubular product out of any kit. But in my mind, Tamiya, of course, fantastic job once again. Won't be a lot of time sanding any parts. Should go together just nicely. And as you guys have noticed, I don't have any builds on my channel as of yet. I'm still deciding how best to represent a build for myself. Trying to maybe teach and pick up some tricks and techniques that I use myself. Once again, like I say, I'm still kind of new to this. I'm gonna have to try to figure something out for myself and go from there. So have a look at the cowl here. Front fairing, front cowl, whatever you wish to call it. I'm going to pull that staple right out of the bag because I'm not ready to build this kit yet. So I like to keep everything in the bag when it comes to the cowlings and such. Great detail. Very little flash. We've got a raised piece right here, but that's not to worry about. I believe there is a logo that goes on there. We got nice bolt heads that are raised, which you can see. Absolutely so futuristic, this cowl. It's unbelievable. Cannot wait to build this kit. But like I said, I don't know if I'm going to wait for aftermarket or just have at it. So like I said, I'll put that back in the bag for now. This way it saves me some detailing on the kit from it bumping and bashing around inside the box until I get to it. Next bag is the glass and chrome, which you never see in a Tamiya motorcycle kit, is chrome. So once again, for these clear parts, I'm going to pull the staples out of the bag because I want to put these clear parts back in it. First impressions, absolutely beautiful glass. Move these out of the road. You guys can have a look. Bring it right up. As you can see as I tilt it, very nice glass, no flash. And then the back end for your taillights, etc. Nice bit of glass on that. Say, stick the clear parts back in the bag until we are ready to use them. Moving on to the chrome. actually quite excited to have a look at this. Should be very nice to easily airbrushed if we don't have a lot of seam lines on this. So, quick impression, we've got the tailpipe. These two pieces will go together. I'm thinking if we used a 2000 grit on this and then buffed it right away on the edges. I don't know if you can pick up, there is not a whole lot of side flash on this, like I'm saying. So if we use a skinny stick around that and buff that out and then airbrush, you know, our yellows and blues to pick up the heat marks. Great piece of chrome from Tamiya. Like I say, they're, you know, and normally anything that's tubular in that chroming process will have flash along a seam line, but there isn't a whole lot of that. And I think we're gonna get away just nicely with this when we go ahead and build this, or when you guys go ahead and build it. Beautiful piece of chrome, beautiful. Don't have to give it the blue bath and paint it, so I like this. I'm looking forward to it. And we've got our last sprue here. And on this sprue, we've got the rims, frames, rear swing arm pieces, all the bits and bobs, handlebars, brakes, motor bits and bobs, which is going to be nice because there's a lot of motor detail on this bike. Kind of, I guess, on the front rim, we're going to have a split piece that should be really nice in itself. The seat, very nice, will go on. I think when we go to primer and paint these pieces, there's so much detail on these that it's not going to get lost in the primer if you do a nice thin coat. The chain itself, nice chain, very detailed. Take you through the sprue here. Not a whole lot of bad things I can say about this, which is good. Like I was saying before, this is going to be a really nice build. Once again, Tamiya has outdone themselves. Not a lot of flash, high-end kit. So for you motorcycle enthusiasts like myself, this model will be going together, and I think a great build. And the good old regular Tamiya bag of goodies. I am not going to pull this bag, open this bag up. As you can see inside the bag, try to take some light away. We've got the rear tire, the front tire, hoses, spring, bushings, and all the screws. And the old trusty dusty red Tamiya screwdriver, you can see, is in there. Everything is in this kit. I'm happy. There's been kits in the past where I've been missing a tire, missing a spring, missing hose, but all not a big deal if you're don't mind waiting. Tamiya customer service is great. They'll just send you the pieces. This kit is complete. Very happy. I know it's complete because I've built so many motorbike models that I know what to expect in the box. Mind you, the H2R, like I was saying, has a lot of detail, which I have not found in a lot of Tamiya models. Shouldn't say a lot, I apologize for that. This bike just is more detailed than most. Alright, I should have just cut that open, get it out of my road. Let's grab a knife here. Cut that off clean. There we go. Get that out of the road. Let's see what we have in here. In this little package here, we have some chrome sticker decals that don't need the bath. They just peel off the sheet and away they go. Bring that up to you. You can see they're all chrome. I remember saying that dent on the cowl front fairing will be for that Yamaha logo, or sorry, Yamaha Kawasaki logo. I don't know what I'm thinking. Apologies. And the nice cartograph decals. Decal sheet's really nice, not overly thick. Have the heads up display in there. Have a decal for what looks to me like the clutch, I'm assuming, but we'll have to wait and find out when we put that together. Great set of decals, very impressed, as usual. So let's put that back in the bag so they don't get lost, scratched or otherwise. Make sure we get that beautiful set of chrome inside the package. Let's have a look at what we have for instructions. We have the write-up on the H2R, the background information. Nothing in English on the front, but if we go to the back just here, we'll bring that up to the camera so that way you guys can pause and have a look and read if you so wish. So that's just the background information sheet. We can just shove that back in the box. Got some tech tips as usual, telling you how to cut off the parts, test fitting, removing metal plating, and we start right off with the engine assembly. Cracking on, as you can see the rest. Just pause on that page for you for now. And we'll come in just a touch. Carry on to the next page. I don't really like to spend a lot of time talking about instructions. They're pretty self-explanatory. To me, it does a great job of laying things out. Even if you've never built a model before, very easy to go together step by step by step. Each part has a call-out number on it. You match up the call-out number. Even if you can't see the call-out number, you can match the pieces that they're telling you to do. Next page. Just get my hands out of the road for those of you who like to stop and pause and have a look. Pretty detailed kit. Very nice instructions. The only thing I do with my tires, give you guys a head up, is I actually take 600 grit sandpaper and I sand the surface of the tire which contacts the ground to make it look a little more realistic. What's also nice about the Tamiya instructions is that they give you brake lines and hoses and such. On the instructions they actually give you the real size to cut. So you lay down your hose next to that, cut it off exact, and you have the exact piece. Not recommended for the beginner, these models. It's not saying you can't do it. Ages 12 and up is recommended. But I'll tell you what, I have a buddy who has a son who's 7 years old who builds models with him, and the kid is absolutely fantastic. So, like I say, just a recommendation on the age of 12 and up. Pause there so you guys can have a look at this set, showing us how to put the rear tire on, also the rear brake rotor and caliper, some more engine bits, and then how to attach the rear swing arm, etc. to the prefab frame that was done in the other points. Then we move on to the exhaust, and from the exhaust we do the water pump and the front radiator. Next page is how to attach the radiator. Once again, we have a call out for hose. Lay your hose down to that, cut it exact size, and everything will be perfect. Next is the front wheel, showing you how to put on the front brake rotors and the two-piece front wheel. Then we move on to the front fender, front fork and fork assembly, then up to attaching the two-piece calipers on the front end. Then we move up to the triple tree, attach that with a nice lengthy screw and a cap on this so you do not see the screw afterwards. Nice touch, I like that. Next page, moving on to the handlebars and attachment. And then we had in previous steps all these hoses poking out. Now it shows you where to attach all these hoses. Then attaching the air intake. We have mesh screen inside the bag. You lay that screen down and cut it exact to match and fit it inside. Then we move on to the seat frame, and then attaching the seat frame, and then we do the seat side cowl sections. Moving on. Then we go on to attaching the fuel tank, attaching fuel tank covers, and then we have the attaching instrument panel, attaching the seat, and then putting together the side cowls. If you've been building models for a while, build things in assemblies, prime then paint. But as with all instructions, you should go through them before you start building the kit, and then test fitting the pieces, and then getting away with what assemblies you can put together that match all the same color, and paint at that time, and then put things together. So moving on to the cowl, attaching the windshield into the cowl. Cowlings go together, and then we have the front and I believe these are for mirrors. And then we move on to the markings, applying metal transfers, which is those metal decals we saw. And then the last page, tips on painting. and then the parts and call out. So I hope you guys have found this review useful. If so, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.